Interesting times indeed. You're tuned in to the right place to get all the updates, everything that's going on in the world, the chatter, the gossip, the news, anything I think you need to know about this crazy world we live in. My name's Bek Lover, and I'm host of the Interesting Times podcast right here on the Bek Lover podcast, where you can view this show on Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, and you can listen to the audio version anywhere podcasts are received. There's a lot going on. This is an action-packed episode. I'm going to be covering Trump's picks. I'm going to be covering what's going on in the Middle East. I'm going to be covering some things that are going on in New York, like more tolls and more taxes. And we're going to talk about my man Elon Musk and everything else that's going on in the world. So make sure you hit that sub button. Drop a comment. I do interact with you. I do respond if you haven't noticed. And make sure you check out all my other handles, especially the YouTube channel, my X account where I host live spaces where we discuss things and you can participate. And also check out my Instagram. It's lit. With that said, I want to let all of you that have been loyal to me know that I am expanding. I've hired teams to help me. You're going to start noticing some massive changes with the aesthetics of my sites, to thumbnails, to edits. I'm going to start making specials. I'm going to start covering very interesting subject matter like aliens, demons, religious discussion, all types of stuff. And I'm going to be doing reaction videos to whatever's trending online. So make sure you hit that sub button. And I'll also be including those clips on this Spotify account. So not only will you have the podcast, you're going to have little shorts where I respond to all types of stuff. So don't be surprised when you start seeing me put up all kinds of funny, crazy, interesting little videos. So I just want to thank you all for the massive success that I'm having, and hopefully we will continue to do so. God bless. Let's rock and roll. The Trumpster is getting serious. I'm here on X, formerly known as Twitter. We're looking at Donald J. Trump's post. I am thrilled to announce Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. For too long, Americans have been crushed by the industrial food complex and drug companies who have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation when it comes to public health. The safety and health of all Americans is the most important role of any administration, and HHS will play a big role in helping ensure that everybody will be protected from harmful chemicals, pollutants, pesticides, pharmaceutical products, and food additives that have contributed to the overwhelming health crisis in this country. Mr. Kennedy will restore these agencies to the traditions of gold standard scientific research and beacons of transparency to end the chronic disease epidemic and to make America great and healthy again, also known as the MAHA movement. Now, I had the pleasure of speaking with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his son on X about 4 or 5 months ago when he was still running for the president, for the office of president. And I am very happy about this. I do believe he's going to try to overhaul this system. And I do believe there are many harmful things that are causing cancer to our children, to us, chemicals and dyes that are affecting fertility and testosterone levels. And I do believe there are a lot of chemicals that are, harming us. And because these companies are so powerful, they've lobbied these disgusting people in Washington over the last 50 years to erode and to manipulate and to get under the radar with things that are illegal in a lot of countries to put in our food. Why is there propylene glycol in any type of food? I am deadly allergic to it. McDonald's uses it in their buns, to my knowledge, and 100% in their Big Mac sauce. It's used in a lot of salad dressings, and it's one of the key ingredients in fertilizer. It also gave me a lot of problems with my scalp when I was younger because a lot of the gels and shampoos and soaps that we use propylene glycol, and it's very hard. Forget the fact they're putting this stuff into the supplies and into the food. How about getting the FDA to make it very simple for us to understand what these ingredients are without having to Google them? Like one acronym per chemical. A lot of times they'll write propylene glycol, then they'll use some 3 letters. Like, people need to know. People have allergies. People are suffering from things, and it took me years to figure it out. I went to the dermatologist, 5 different ones, and none of them helped me. They all misdiagnosed me and told me I had some kind of scalp condition when really I was just allergic to one chemical that none of those grossly incompetent dermatologists, because most of them are just worried about making money with selling their products and plastic surgery. They don't care about helping people that actually have skin conditions or allergies. And I had this amazing doctor from Africa, you know, educated outside the US, who actually cares about her patients, help me. And I, you know, I'm so grateful to her, Dr. Adoye. She's amazing. And she, you know, ran simple tests that should have been run the first dermatologist I visited. So we have a massive problem in this country. And I do believe our children are hurting. So just to, you know, remind you, let's get healthy again, man. This country is crazy. Let's hear a little bit of his speech.
Thank you. A few hours after the assassination attempt at Butler, I got a call from a safe food advocate named Kelly Means, who's been fighting for many years to try to end the corruption at CDC and FDA and USDA. And these institutions, these regulatory agencies, are actually run by the big food processing companies, the big ag and the chemical companies that they're supposed to regulate.
That's called a conflict of interest. Imagine government agencies, which should be independent from the companies they're regulating, are the ones that are funding these agencies and doing stuff. That's like I own a construction company, but I control the inspectors that are supposed to come and make sure that the buildings I'm building are safe to live in. Okay? It's disgusting how far this corruption has seeped into our society, into our agencies. You know, the freest society in the world, that even our own food is not safe because of the corruption that has occurred for decades in our nation. I don't know if you people understand, man, what's going on. Like, this is crazy. And we need to hold Trump and RFK, you know, hold them to their promises. This is very important. So, I'm thrilled to announce that RFK Jr., right? We read this. Okay, he's on board. Let's see what happens. Now, the other G here, Elon Musk's new department seeks super high IQ staff for unpaid jobs. Musk said compensation is zero for the revolutionaries who will advise on cuts to the federal budget. Okay? Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, new commission to slash government spending, began soliciting applications for staff jobs. We need super high IQ government revolutionaries willing to work 80 plus hours a week on unglamorous cost cutting. If that's you, DM this account with your CV. Elon and Vivek will review the top 1% of applicants. Now, this department is called the Department of Government Efficiency, which also has a money symbol. I truly believe somehow, some way, Doge and cryptocurrency is going to play a role in this future government. You know how I feel about crypto and where it could lead to in the future. But I believe if they're going to create one world currency and a standard for the world that the Antichrist will operate on, for those of you that believe the spiritual stuff that I talk about, there's got to be a way to accept the masses to want to encourage the use of cryptocurrency. I am not a master of cryptocurrency at all, but I know where it all ends. I promise you it ends in complete control of your life if the wrong people are in power. You know, the way evil works is sometimes they have to do some good for you before they can get you to take the bait, as they say. I truly believed, I don't know if it's Doge, but I don't think it's by accident. I really don't. And as a matter of fact, even though I'm not invested in cryptocurrency, I do have I am going to be making a move into that currency. I have a feeling that there's more to that currency because of the name of this agency, which did create a slight influx of purchasing, right? It went up. So I do believe it's a subliminal message that this might be some type of way to prevent government corruption. Everything's on the universal ledger. If they buy a table, I had a friend once that worked for, I forgot which department of the government, down in DC. He was there for a while. He worked in human resources. And he was telling me that they would buy like $9,000 desks And 2 years later, oh, I want a new desk. I'm just going to buy another $10,000. Like desks, literally. He saw this with his own eyes. So imagine now why the government's being shut down every quarter. We need more money to borrow, besides all the money we've spent on destroying other human beings across the globe. As great as what Trump's doing for the Maha movement and make America healthy again, he will gain my trust when he ends all these wars and does what's right in the Middle East. Am I counting on him to do that? I don't think so. I really don't. I look at things from a spiritual perspective. You know, maybe we'll have a temporary pause. I believe the only people that can save the world in this country is us, human beings, working together and standing for what's right. Even if you have to look your own friend in the face and say, I'm telling you what you're doing is wrong. Not because of your nationality, not because of your religion. What you are doing is immoral. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Telling someone that they're doing something wrong, okay, is actually a form of love. It's not a form of hatred. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. We'll cover some news from that part of the world next. So if you want to go work for the government and fix this country, and to be honest with you, if you're smart and you're young and you know, like, it's besides being great to put on your resume, like, America needs you, man. I volunteered for people that were in need. Right now, the American people need you. You bright, young, smart, highly intelligent individuals. Even if this job doesn't pay, we need to overhaul our government. We need to minimize our government. We need to cut all the fat out. Even if you volunteered a year of your life, the impact you could have on millions of Americans' lives, I am begging you, if you are smart, please sign up and work for Elon Musk in the Doge department to make this country great again. I am begging you. This is more important than money or any money that you can make. Plus, imagine the connections you can make. Sometimes connections are way more profitable. You might not see the money from it right away, but it's an example of my life also. My network is everything. So if you're young and brilliant, I highly recommend you apply for this position. Let's get this government back on track. Let's make it work for the American people and not the other way around, where we're employing all these unnecessary positions in Washington while they steal our money from taxes and pay it for things that don't even benefit us. Let alone they don't benefit us. These policies are killing us, especially when it comes to our food. So go out there and apply. Instead of sodas, these vending machines offer needles and Narcan to fight overdoses. This is reported by NPR. Here's a picture of these vending machines. They don't dish out snacks. They dish out Narcan, because there's so many places in our country that have been destroyed by addiction and needle usage that a lot of these places now have vending machines just so they don't die. People are losing their lives. Overdose deaths dropped over the last year nationwide in Massachusetts, but overdoses continue to claim about 100,000 lives each year. That's 100,000 Americans losing their lives because of drugs like fentanyl and all this stuff. So I hope we can get our nation's soul back. Measles is debilitating and deadly, and cases are surging. Okay, I didn't even hear about it. So, like, how are they surging all of a sudden? But global measles cases surged by more than 20% to an estimated 10.3 million last year. The virus had been completely eliminated from 82 countries in the past 50 years, but lack of access to vaccines and misinformation about vaccine safety has caused the world to backslide. Measles is so highly contagious that 95% of the community needs to be fully vaccinated to offer some protection to the unvaccinated, including children too young to be vaccinated. Globally, about 83% of children got their first dose of the measles vaccine in 2023, and only 74% got their recommended second dose. The health organization said more than 22 million children missed getting vaccinated altogether. Well, I blame you guys for forcing us to take something that wiped out a lot of people. People are not stupid. People don't trust the news anymore, which I need to cover that also. The mainstream media is in decline. X is the most sought out place for news now. We are the news. You are the news. The First Amendment is being restored to its glory in this massive great awakening. We will no longer be silenced, and companies will pay for pushing propaganda and bullshit and lies and disgusting policies that most normal people do not agree to. And it doesn't matter how big your company is, you will hurt. You will go woke, and you will go fucking broke. Turkey, country I've been to, severs all relations with Israel. Okay? Turkey has severed all ties with Israel. Erdogan made the comments to journalists aboard his plane following visits to Saudi Arabia and Azerbaijan. The government of the Republic of Turkey, under the leadership of Erdogan, will not continue or develop relations with Israel. We, as the Republic of Turkey and its government, have currently severed all relations with Israel. Despite imposing a trade embargo on Israel in May, Ankara continues to maintain diplomatic relations with the country. Although the Turkish government formally recalled its ambassador last year for consultations, Turkish diplomatic missions in Tel Aviv remain open and operational. Similarly, Israel evacuated its embassy in Ankara last year, citing regional security threats. Erdogan also emphasized on Wednesday that Turkey would do everything in its power to hold Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accountable for his actions in Gaza, which international human rights groups have described as a genocide, because that's what it's turned into. That's why if you're from that part of the world, you should be ashamed of his response. Okay, it made your nation look horrible. It's turned public opinion against your country. It's made people in America question their friendship and loyalty to you guys that was programmed into them by, the mainstream media for the last 50 years. People are sick of it. So I said this. Go back to my October 7 to 10 to 11 episodes, and especially after these atrocities started happening, I warned my Jewish friends and my Jewish, people that are in my life. Like, this is really looking really bad for your quote-unquote nation, your Jewish state. It's making you look horrific. It makes you look like you don't believe in God at all. People are not dumb. People can go to Google and read histories and see how this started and who was there 100 years ago too. And regardless if it's an ancient homeland, like, it doesn't matter how you try to spin history. People look at where we are today. Okay? And I knew this would be catastrophic to them. I knew it. I said, you're going to win the military campaign. You're going to lose the war for hearts and minds. And that is exactly what has happened. Okay, you have people like Candace Owens talking about this, Dan Blazarian, who has millions of followers. I mean, you have all these social media influencers who are like, really, I have made this clear. I don't group all people, of any people, together and say they're all this or they're all that or they all do this or they all believe that. A lot of that rhetoric has come out of some of these influencers' mouths, fresh and fit. You can't just put all people in one basket. Now, there's a lot of things that, can be attributed to individual actions or leaders, but, I'll never go as far as alienating an entire population for the actions of some, especially those in charge. Netanyahu's chief of staff suspected of altering PM's call logs from morning of October 7th attack. Tashki Braverman was summoned by police for questioning on Thursday and is suspected of attempting to change the timelines of phone calls between the prime minister and his military secretary shortly after the Hamas attack began. Israeli police suspect chief of staff in the office of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu attempted to alter the timelines of the conversations between Netanyahu and his military secretary. I wonder why. I don't even have the rest of this article. This is really crazy. Why does he need to alter the call logs? Comments here say there was a stand-down order. We need an investigation into Bibi and Ben Gvir. Now, this is Haaretz, right? This is an Israeli website about all the stories about Israeli IDF blasting away at Hamas with tanks and killing hundreds of Israeli civilians in the fanatic rush to defend. Sad but true. The fact is Hamas came to fight and kidnap, not murder civilians. Is this the Israel dehumanizing baby? So, my friends, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot. Lebanese ceasefire efforts inch ahead as Israel keeps up fierce bombardment. Let's not forget, people are being blown up in Lebanon. They're losing their lives right now. This witch, this cunt, as I call her, Kathy Hochul.
All of them for their incredible work.
Look at her, bro.
And my incredible Commissioner of DOT, Marie-Therese Dominguez, thank you for all you do for us. Jackie Bray, our Commissioner of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. And, of course, I want to thank Jano Lieber for his leadership at the MTA at a time when it is drive down traffic congestion. To put the congestion pricing program on pause while we devise a different path forward.
How about we have congestion pricing because 8th Avenue, all these major arteries of New York City. You guys took out 3 lanes out of 5-lane roads. Bike lane, parking, okay? And then the Ubers pull over, okay? And now you have 5 lanes that turn into effectively 1 lane. How about that's what's causing the real congestion? We didn't have these types of problems before you guys did all of this. Now, you could have made bike lanes, cool, but you completely restructured Manhattan. You shut down Times Square, which was the artery where everyone would flow through Times Square. You guys did this. Why should New Yorkers have to pay for the way you guys created this layout of our roads and side streets? It's unjustifiable, and the New Yorkers should boycott downtown Manhattan. It is unfair to New Yorkers that they can't even drive through the city they've lived in their entire life without being penalized. It's enough people from New Jersey and the other boroughs have to pay to get into Manhattan. It is ridiculous. New Yorkers, voice your opinion. Tell this witch that you made the congestion. You shut down lanes. You turned 5-lane avenues like 8th Avenue into 1-lane roads effectively. And we shouldn't be penalized because you ran this city into a ground, paying for billions of dollars in hotel rooms for illegal immigrants in this country, punishing New Yorkers. This is ridiculous. This message, tag her ass on it. Just like they want to tag your Easy Pass just to go from one part of Manhattan to another. Really? Never. FBI raids apartment of election betting site Polymarket CEO and seizes cell phone, sources say. The FBI raided Polymarket CEO Shane Copland's home after the website election betting market controversially predicted Donald Trump's win. The FBI seized the cell phone and other electronic devices. The search comes shortly after the company's markets wagered correctly and controversially in Donald Trump's favor in bets for who would win the presidential election. The 26-year-old was at home when numerous agents entered his apartment Wednesday and he turned over his devices. New phone, who dis? Copland posted on X following the raid. Polymarket, which Copland founded in 2020, has recently been the subject of intense debate and scrutiny over its creation of election betting markets. The company brought in more than $3.6 billion from bets placed on the presidential election. Man, I failed in life. Now, I am against gambling. I think it's evil. It destroys lives. I've seen people, close friends, lose millions of dollars and destroy their families by gambling. Okay? And Albanians love to gamble. Most people do. I'm going to pick just on my people, but it's really bad for you. I'm telling you, and spiritually, you get into a rut. You know, you lose your money, then you're trying to chase it. And if I just get it back, and then you get into this very vicious cycle, which becomes very addictive, and it takes over your life. If you're young and you're watching this show, trust me, stay away from all forms of gambling. It will destroy you sooner or later. It will. It will catch up to you. Okay? You want to gamble, gamble on yourself. Go open a business, try something interesting. You know, that's where you should feed into. But damn, leaving that aside, 26 years old, dealing with billions of dollars, man. This was also a prophecy, by the way, in the religion of Islam, that very young people would amass massive amounts of wealth. Because think about it, up until the times of technology, the only way to amass massive wealth, the way the world ran, was generational wealth, where you own business or regions or whatever, and you pass this wealth on to the next generation, and then they continue to compound. Technology changed all of that, turning 20-year-olds into billionaires and on the path to become trillionaires. So that was a prophecy in the religion of Islam before the end of the world. Very young people would become billionaires. And here's proof of one, right? This kid's dealing with billions of dollars in transactions, being investigated by the FBI. Very interesting. Again, not pushing my faith, but just showing you some interesting prophecies that I've seen come true in my life. The Onion wins Alex Jones InfoWars and bankruptcy auction. The satirical news company plans to shutter Jones InfoWars and rebuild the website featuring well-known internet humor, writers, content creators, according to a person with knowledge of the sale. I just got word 15 minutes ago that my lawyers and folks met with the U.S. trustee over our bankruptcy this morning, and they said they are shutting us down even without a court order this morning. I don't know how much it's sold for, but I can tell you there's a lot I did not agree with when it comes to Alex Jones, but there's a lot of things that he did were extremely important to protect free speech, to waken people up, to exposing Bohemian Grove. And if you don't know what that is, please go research it. It's real. He got in there and showed us videos and pictures of our leaders and the heads of corporations and the heads of agencies coming together, dressing like witches and devils and worshiping a fucking owl. It is not normal. Okay? Why are our leaders and the heads of the most powerful corporations doing these weird rituals? It's fucking weird. You're not 18 years old, 20 years old in a frat house, ha ha ha, every year at Bohemian Grove. And for that, we must all thank Alex Jones, because that woke a lot of people up, including me. I know he's not done. I wonder where he'll be next. I don't know if he's on X. Let's see if he's changed his name. Let's see if he's still on there. Alex, let's see, Alex Jones, okay. He's still up there. I don't know if he's live. No, he's not live. I don't know if he's regrouping. I have no idea. Has he posted anything? Let's see. We are all Alex Jones today. Fuck the deep state. Fight goes on. Breaking: the judge overseeing Alex Jones' InfoWars case just ordered a hearing into how the Onion won the bidding after Alex. Let's see.
This morning, and they said, I just got word 15 minutes ago that my lawyers and folks met with the U.S. trustee over our bankruptcy this morning, and they said they're shutting us down even without a court order this morning. The Connecticut Democrats with the Onion newspaper bought us. They asked, did they outbid? They said, well, it was competitive. So they changed all the bidding rules, made it secret 2 days ago. I had a bad feeling. I told you that. And just like they tried to shut us down back in late May without a court order, they're supposed to have a court order. There's going to be injunctions filed. I'm about to go live out of Harrison's American Journal studio. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be here until they come in here and turn the lights off. I'm going to say, where's your court order? So this is all going down right now. They want to silence the American people, but we're not going to be silenced. Be sure and follow me at the Alex Jones Network at AJN Live on X right now. They're filed in court to take real Alex Jones away. That's totally unconstitutional. The judge already said no, so they filed in other courts. I just got word 15 minutes ago.
Okay, so the battle continues. So he's not going anywhere yet. Let's see what else is going on here. Alex Jones Network is launched.
Right? And there was a lot of misinformation ahead of that where the people were saying, oh, RFK is being frozen out, the Trump's not going to keep his promises, right? And this is propaganda. This is meant to tell you Trump is a liar, he doesn't honor his promises, he doesn't keep his word, he uses people and then he dumps them. No. There is a real reckoning that is coming here. When RFK Jr. says we are going to remake the entire health system,
Okay, so he's still on the air, just not under InfoWars legally. So that's a big change for those of you that follow him.
And understand where he's coming from to know that this is not stuff he said on the campaign trail for a fact.
All right. Trump picks to lead U.S. military has tattoos linked to white supremacists and Nazis. I got to be honest with you. I feel like when you just don't like someone's face, they don't give you a good vibe. I don't got a good feeling about this guy. I really don't. And he seems to support what's going on overseas, okay, which is another reason I don't like him at all. Concerns are mounting over Trump's pick to lead the Pentagon. Fox News host and military veteran Pete Hegseth. CBS News reports that Hegseth was one of 12 National Guards members who were removed as guards for President Biden's 2021 inauguration over possible extremist ties. Hegseth has 2 tattoos associated with the white supremacist and neo-Nazi movements, including what's known as Jerusalem Cross, a symbol used by Christian nationalists. Okay. I just got bad vibes about this guy. I really do. I don't know why. Hopefully he proves me wrong, but the minute I saw his face, I didn't like it. Trump win prompts judge to postpone January 6th defendant's trial. The judge's decision could set a precedent, prompting others handling January 6th defendants' cases to reach similar conclusions, despite DOJ opposition. During his 2024 campaign, Trump vowed to free January 6 rioters as one of his first acts in office. I bet you those that are convicted right now, and there's a couple Albanians in there too who just were there, I do feel a lot of them were treated unjustly. I really do. This was not an insurrection. This was a riot. They shouldn't be doing 15 years in fucking jail. A lot of the Capitol guards stood down, even opened doors and let these people in. Let's be real. So enough with the bullshit. Free them. And Meta's in trouble. The EU slaps Meta, that's Facebook, the clown fucking Zuckerberg, nearly €800 million fine for engaging in abusive marketplace practice because they're an ethical company. They take orders to suppress discussion. I don't understand why why does everyone fucking, man, it just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. In any event, This was a quick episode. There's so much coming. I appreciate your support. Drop me a comment. Let's discuss what's going on in this world. My name's Bek Lover. I'm here, and by the will of God, I'm not going anywhere. And thanks to you, my friends, we continue to grow. So make sure you hit that sub button. I'm going to have tons of content coming your way. Reactions to breaking news, not just full episodes. We're expanding, baby. And it's thanks to all of you. Bek Lover.